Welcome back to Doofy Doo's Palace of Fine Meats. I am Doofy, and this is episode 37 of my talk through of Shiren the Wanderer. We are, let's see, I think more than halfway through Bufu's Cave, if I remember correctly. And thus far, this run has not been particularly stellar. I am kind of concerned about the lack of food situation, also the lack of shield situation. Oh no! An unequipped trap. What are you going to take off, my Bufu's cleaver? That's all I've got. But somehow I am still alive. I do want to say I watched the last episode, and there's a moment when a rhinodillo attacks me right at the beginning, and I'm like talking about how I decided not to use the hiding jar. I had rhinodillo meat. I could have just eaten the rhinodillo meat and knocked it back and then shot a few arrows. I didn't have to take that risk with the mammal meat, so I don't know why I did that. But I do that quite a lot. I talked about early on. Hey, Fluffy Bunny by himself. Hey, and there's the monster we fixed last episode. Look at that. Look how boring that is. Oh no, 11 HP. Look at that. I feel nothing when I see that design. I'm not afraid. It's just like completely bland and uninteresting. I'm glad we fixed that last episode. Yeah, a lot of times I won't go through my inventory. So that rhinodillo meat was on my second page, and I just didn't take the time to look. So Doofy, you need to slow down. Alright. Ordinarily I would want this meat so bad, this Hell Reaper meat. But this is a rare situation where I'm a little nervous. The soldier ant, or general ant, or whatever kind of ant that was, made this corridor a little bit wider than usual, so I could get surrounded. That's why I'm a little nervous fighting a Hell Reaper. Turned it into a purple slime. This could solve my food situation though. As long as it keeps splitting, I could get a lot of meat. And because I have a plating scroll, purple slime meat is really valuable in this run, because it transforms any monster into basically a harmless monster and a source of more meat. Oh yeah, day's radish. Ooh, day's radish meat. That'll come in handy. That'll also solve my lack of food situation. You might be wondering why I don't unequip my Bufu's cleaver so I can make a bunch of purple slimes. They won't die as quickly. If a Hell Reaper comes in, I really want Hell Reaper meat. I'm just not comfortable fighting it in the corridor. On this open room like this, definitely, I will make that meat. Anyway, the lesson I learned last episode was take the time to look through your inventory during a critical moment. I hope that I don't die at some point in this talk through when I have an Herb of Victory or an Air Devil meat. It happens, it used to happen quite often, so I'm afraid it's going to happen, but I will do my best to avoid it. Alright, 3 purple slime meats, that is excellent. Plus, I got this day's radish meat. So I'm going to fill this room with crazy confusion herb. Room's going to smell like a teenage boy's basement. What are you doing down there, Doofy? Nothing, Mom. Just enjoying some fine herb. Crazy thing is I actually know nothing about marijuana, so everything I learned comes from old Cheech and Chong movies that I watch with my dad. But, you know, I know the basics. I actually watched a few episodes of that Getting Dug with High show where that's comedian Doug whoever gets high with other comedians for YouTube. Those episodes made me completely uninterested in smoking pot. They just giggle all the time and they become really obnoxious and kind of laid back. I don't know, I feel like that's not appealing to me. Maybe someday it will be, but right now it doesn't appeal to me. Maybe it's because I'm so easygoing all the time. When I get drunk, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I actually get very serious and I'm argumentative. I like want to debate people about very serious topics. So that must be all contained within me. Perhaps this easygoing exterior is just a facade, and I'm actually extremely uptight inside, just trying to burst out. It's like a lawyer inside of me. But yeah, I don't know what would happen. Someday I'll find out. I always tell myself when I'm like 80 years old, I'm gonna like do every kind of crazy drug. Probably overtext my heart and die, but that's the time to do it. When you've got nothing left to lose, just become the world's oldest junkie. That's the way to go out. Right now, Shiren is like one of those annoying guys that keeps telling you how high he is. Like, whoa, dudes, I'm so confused right now. Ask me what 2 plus 2 is. I'm like, alright, what's 2 plus 2? I don't know! I'm confused! Don't even know which way I'm swinging my sword! You can probably see that the confused status lasts a random number of turns, so sometimes it's over really fast, like 4 turns, sometimes it lasts almost 10 turns. You never know how long you're gonna be out when you take an herb of confusion. Sometimes you get the good stuff. The confused status, it isn't really that dangerous to me. I can count on one hand the number of times where confusion has actually led to my death. Usually you're in a monster house and you can't get to the stairs, or you're confused and you take a step on another trap. So, do I really want to tamper with it? Nah, I'll leave it. That's fine. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, this episode, I think I'm going to fix a couple monster designs that aren't really that broken, but I'm just going to fix to improve a little bit of their coherence. The general idea of the design is solid. They just need a little bit of tweaking. And you're going to notice a pattern. A lot of the fixes I suggest are going to be to the monsters that don't have any powers. Because I feel like a monster with no powers, that's fine for the first level. You know, at the beginning of the game, you run into mammals and pit mammals and chintallas and snakies. And you're just teaching people the basics, that some monsters are more powerful than others. So you don't want to surprise them with a bunch of crazy abilities right in the beginning and just, you know, turn them off of the game immediately. However, not giving those monsters abilities as they level up is really a missed opportunity. So the first monster I'm going to fix is the Gather, or giant enemy crab. It has high attack, high defense, it's a coherent design, but I'm just going to tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting. So level 1 Gather, again I'm going to keep it almost the same. You should be noticing a pattern here. I'm just going to increase its defensive ability, so it'll do, or it'll take, about half as much damage as the other monsters. Remember last episode I said that I did not like palette swaps in a modern game. Every promotion should have its own individual sprite. And this promotion for the Gather is going to make good use of that. The Tank family already does that because they have so many promotions. The sprite actually changes as they level up. As the Gather, or giant enemy crab, levels up, the shell is going to get noticeably more impressive. So the level 2 giant enemy crab with a more impressive shell is going to be immune to arrows. Every arrow attack is going to miss. Level 3 giant enemy. Hey, let's see if I can get some Hell Reaper meat. Ouch. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. That would... Alright, finally, this run cuts me a break. If I run into a monster house now, I don't know if you can get monster house in Doofy's cave. I think you can. That Hell Reaper meat is going to be perfect. So I am feeling pretty good. Another good skill to develop in Doofy's cave that comes in handy, oh, and right on time too, is to get a general feel for your trajectory from floor to floor. At the beginning of this episode, I did not feel really confident, but now I'm not worried about food so much since I ate all those herbs of confusion. Got a Hell Reaper meat, got a bunch of purple slime meats, extra herbs of confusion. I feel pretty good about this run. I'm probably totally gonna jinx myself and die on this floor. But yeah, you want to think at the end of the floor, am I using up my items or do I have more items? So I definitely am a lot better off. That last floor was really good for me. So we'll see. This run's feeling a lot better now. Oh no, that's not good. That's a little dangerous. Hopefully I'm able to confuse this guy. If I had missed and he had knocked off my Bufus Cleaver into another enemy, this run would be over. That reminds me of another mistake I noticed watching the older episodes. I let the curse girl attack me. I think I let 2 curse girls attack me. If your Bufus Cleaver gets cursed in this bonus dungeon, it's over. I mean, you're not going to run into any rice balls. You're just going to starve to death if you can't make any meat with the cursed Bufus Cleaver. Whew. I was going to level up for a second. I actually it would be nice for him to level up. Maybe I should have tried to level him up. Oh well, it's too late now. But Yeah, I should have prioritized that curse girl over the Lilac. I don't know why I went for the Lilac first. Again, not a big deal, but I like to look back sometimes and think, Doofy, if you played the run perfectly, what should you have done? Alright, level 3 giant enemy crab. Immune to arrow shots and also immune to all thrown items. So thrown herbs, thrown staffs are just going to miss and bounce off. And finally, the level 4 promotion of the giant enemy crab will be immune to arrows, immune to thrown items, and it will also have a spiky shell. So when you attack it, it'll have the ability of the spiked shield that will reflect a certain amount of damage. So again, not a huge change, but a pretty intimidating monster for a level 4 promotion. At the end of this floor, Shiren must be just like dripping purple slime. That's another one of the few things that was better in the original game. The animation for getting slimed was a lot more gross. It kind of like dripped all over his hat. But I guess the sprites in this remake made that animation not feasible. Alright, so there you go. A minor fix, not a huge drastic change to the design of the giant enemy crab or gather family. And again, I feel like that adds some depth, makes it a little bit more interesting and intimidating, certainly at the higher promotions. The last fix I'm going to make real quick is also to an enemy you run into for the first time in the swamp levels of Table Mountain. It's the Gator Scissorhands. I alluded to this before, but the level 1 Gator Scissorhands should attack twice. It's got 2 arms. The level 2 Gator Scissorhands will attack twice and randomly, this is my little twist, is going to counterattack. So it'll catch your sword with one arm and then counterattack you with the other. Level 3 Gator Scissorhands is going to be a new sprite with 4 arms. It's going to attack 4 times quickly, not as slowly as it does now. So bam, 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 bam. And randomly counterattack twice. And then the 4th promotion, 4 hands, 4 attacks still, but it's going to counterattack 3 times. So it'll catch your sword with 1 arm, the other 3 arms are going to attack you. Bam, bam, bam. Not every time you attack, but randomly. Adds a little bit more interest. So one more time, it doesn't destroy the original idea. The original idea is fine. It just kind of tweaks it a little bit, makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more coherent, and takes advantage of the fact that the redesign is going to have different sprites for all the promotions. Alright, that's all the redesigning I had planned for this episode. We're getting to a good point to stop. Next time, I'm going to fix the only other design in the game that really needs a major rehaul. And this is going to be super controversial, but we'll see. If you don't like it, you can always let me know. I am going to do my best to fix it next time on Shiren the Wanderer. It's going to make the game a lot more difficult, but hopefully a lot more fun. We'll find out next time. I'll see you all then. Alright, since the World Cup ended, I figured it'd be a good time to take a look at the box art for Shiren Monsters Netzal, the spin-off GBA soccer game. You can see it's pretty cool. There's a tank on the left. The Roid Kitty is the goalie. That's pretty awesome. They got the shopkeeper as the ref. That's a nice touch. You might recognize some monsters from Shiren DS2 on the upper right. The mammal's adorable. Generic anime girl. But wait, what's that at the bottom right? You're thinking, no, it can't be. It is. That is a Rice Changer cheerleader. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I hear she gives you a blowjob. Your penis turns into a rice ball for 5 turns. Oh God. If you cosplay as a Rice Changer cheerleader, I'm warning you. I will propose to you on the spot. I will marry you if you cosplay as Rice Changer cheerleader.
Ask me what 2 plus 2 is. I'm like, alright, what's 2 plus 2? I don't know! I'm confused!